Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and for about the next month, I believe Kronshtadt is on sale, so you guys asked for a video on it, and here it is. Kronshtadt is a super cruiser, so if you guys didn't know, 305 12-inch guns, a lot of fun. Can be trolly at times, but it's still a fun ship. So, we are using for our commander Ivan B. Delightful. Whatever you use for the Russians is fine. I use B. Delightful on the Russian super cruisers just because they're AP focused and I like getting a little bit more accuracy out of them. We are using Membelli and Reigerwald as our inspirations, along with Beyond Range, Intuitive, Punch Through, Fear My Roar, and Refill Station. Now, I use Lightful on a lot of cruisers, and I have a tendency to use a refill station more than fully packed. But on this ship, you could 100% do fully packed and be totally fine. It has pretty good consumables. For our modifications, we're using Aiming Systems Mod 1, Prop Mod 2, and Concealment Mod 1 as always. Now, in the last slot, you could make the argument for gunfire control systems. Not necessarily for the range, but for the dispersion. Uh, and I'm using main battery mod 3. The reason is I play Russian cruisers very aggressively. I am not a person that stands back in Russian cruisers. And I wouldn't recommend laying back, especially when you have a radar. So, to the radar, short duration, but 11.7 kilometers. If you take fully packed, you do get 3, and I believe you get the heels are good. Yeah, the heels are pretty solid on this thing for cruisers. Again, could 100% take the heels. And if you wanted, you could put Arthas because you do have catapult fighters as well. Now, I always normally do that when I have a catapult fighters, but and you'll see in our match, I think I have Arthas, even though I don't have Arthas on as an inspiration. So, with that being said, 71,000 health. It's a lot of health. I mean, we're talking battleship health at the tier, right? So you have a ton of health. Do not be scared of battleships in this cruiser. Just don't. You don't have nothing to be scared of. For our main guns, you have 9 305s. They are lethal with the AP. And actually, if you build into the HE, because we're not giving any HE buffs, the HE isn't awful. I wouldn't recommend using it a ton. There's times when you need to, right? On this build, 17.6 kilometers. These guns are very interesting. Sometimes you will absolutely dev strike people with its accuracy, and then other times you're just like, what in the heck just happened? You're telling me that wasn't an Italian battleship shooting, right? So they control you, but for a cruiser, this AP is pretty good. This is pretty much a poor man's Stalingrad in some ways, except for it doesn't have the accuracy. AA defense, it's freaking terrible. It is terrible. It's terrible at tier 7, and holy jeepers, if you get a legendary carry against you, you are screwed. I don't know. We have to look at my stats. I don't think I've shot down more than 2 planes with this thing. Most of your AA is in at 3.5 kilometers, and you don't even have much of that. So maneuverability, it's a Kronstadt is a very big ship. It's a super cruiser, so these numbers are kind of to be expected, right? To be honest, the turning circle isn't as bad as what I thought it would be for what it is, and the rudder is a little bit longer than what I thought. Concealment, it's 13.5. It's freaking terrible for a cruiser, just like all Russian cruisers, right? So just remember that. The Yor, as you can see, my stats in it. I played this thing at distance at first when I first got it. Terrible idea. I started playing closer in, more aggressive, and then I started to do really well with this thing. I've always seen people play Russian cruisers at range when I first got this. Not a good idea. You want to play close in, you're harder to kill. As long as you don't give up your broadside, this thing is tough as nails. You can see my average potential damage against me is 1 million. That's saying a lot considering I play close in now, and where I had a lot of matches playing at distance where people weren't shooting at me much. I bet you this is one of the highest potential damages on par that I have for a cruiser now. I would say 8 matches, I'm probably averaging 1.3 against me and actually surviving. Instead of getting caught out at distance by a battleship, you're much more durable close in with this ship. Now, you don't have torpedoes or a sonar, so you gotta play smart with it. But given the right player, this ship is a lot of fun. It's a high ceiling ship, though. You definitely have to understand the ship to play it well. Armor. It has a ton of armor, right? Now, keep in mind uh, your bow and stern are 25. So anything over 14 inch guns, so most battleships at the tier are going to rock you or be able to overmatch your bow. Now, that being said, this Russian ship, cruiser, doesn't have the world's biggest bow. You do have to be careful at range of stuff going through, but when you get close in, this citadel from the front is very hard to hit, and I bow into a lot of stuff and do just fine. I know that sounds crazy, but you can kind of play this thing bow in. Now, there isn't much of a need because you have this beautiful side plating and belt over here, right? So you can and should angle when opportunity presents itself. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player. Not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are on Sea of Fortune. And one thing I will say with Russian cruisers is a lot of times I'll put an island to my right hand side and limit who can shoot you. And that's a big thing with a lot of Russian cruisers. Not so much with the Kronshtadt. You can kind of get away with taking a beating in this ship, but you don't want to be taking a beating from a broadside. It's Russian, so you give up a broadside in a Russian ship, you're gonna die. This ship is tougher than most, but you got to still be careful. We know by the located perk that we have, there's not really many people over here. We're getting spotted from the middle of the map really quickly. We're gonna pop in and try to take this cap. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dave, you have actually finally went off the deep end. You're telling me a ship without good secondaries, a sonar or torpedoes is a brawler. And it's a cruiser. And this thing is. And honestly, that's the way I play a lot of the Russian cruisers, to be honest with you. I'll tuck in close, use an island a lot of times to shield one side of me so I can angle to everything else and limit who you can shoot. Now, like I said, don't have to worry so much about this one, about limiting who shoots you, but on a lot of Russians we do. So we radar the middle just to make sure we're alone over here and also to help teammates. And we see Dalian. We see Dalian over there to our right. We are getting ready to cap the base, and we are going to go ahead and start to move forward. Now, the first 4 minutes of this match have been pretty slow, but we got the cap. We did the solo cap, and that's important, right? always get caps when you can. Don't play. I, one thing I see with people playing Russian ships all the time is they play way far back. And that's really not ideal for Russian ships. They're tough to kill, they have good armor, and the closer in you get, the more accurate they get. And there's no difference with this ship with any of that. Now, Dalian is going to be quite lucky a few times here. If that was any other ship, he would have been dead. But Dalian gets away with overpinning it so bad that you got to be, Dalian has to pretty much angle to get murdered. We're lucky enough to get one Citadel off that, to be honest. So we've had this slow start damage-wise, but we have taken control of a cap. But our team is 4-8 right now. They have 2 to our every ship that we have. So we're gonna have to play this smart in order to be effective, right? So one thing we're gonna want to do is this may come down to points, and that's how I play it. And I play aggressive, guys. But once you get comfortable with playing aggressive, sure, you're gonna have some moments where you get dev struck, but you're gonna have some really good moments where you're gonna have a match like this where it looks really bad and dire, but we're gonna do our best to try to bring this in. Now, Petro is lucky that he got overpinned, because that would have been normally death. Now you're going to see me kind of go to war with a couple battleships here, and you're going to see I'm going to do just fine, right? We're basically we're angling the best we can to them and trying to limit what we can do. And these 2 battleships here, as you can see, not really super paying attention to me, but we're trying to distract them while stopping some of the points that they get. And you're going to start to see this Russian AP, as good as it is, it's going to start chunking Repub and these battleships. And the one thing is with Russian AP, as always, it's not super lobby, right? Like, it's going to be laser beams, and you got to aim it that way. And to be honest, the thing with Kronshtadt is I have a tendency to get a little cautious aiming at battleships. Now, if these 2 weren't French battleships, I probably would be trying for Citadels right now. Otherwise, because I don't know that I'm going to get the Citadel, you can see I'm aiming up a little bit higher, right, into the side plating, and it's doing a significant amount of damage with the reload that we have. Even though that we're not doing a ton of Citadels right now, we are still doing pretty decent damage. And you can see we're staying perfectly angled. We're really not taking a whole lot of damage here. It's not ideal, but we're not really taking much. And you're going to see here, again, we're going to keep shooting at Flounder. And he's going to actually get just tired of us, because he's really not doing much to us. And I'm making sure I'm staying out of his secondary range here. But again, Flounder's really shooting at us quite a bit. And we are definitely willing to take the trade in damage right now, because we are doing much more to him than he is to us. And that's one thing that you have to understand in this ship, is you don't have to be scared of anything. You have a radar to get rid of destroyers. Other cruisers you literally snack on. And battleships, they get so frustrated if you angle properly in this thing. You're going to see this guy just gives up. And I don't blame him. He's been trying to kill me for a while now, and he's just going to drive away all nonchalant. So we're going to switch to HE. And you'd see, close in like this, we're hitting 4 out of 6 shells. Replay out at distance, we're not going to have as much luck if we were shooting out at distance. You'd have some rough accuracy. It seems like the Russians, as you can see, we're going to get 5 of 6 to hit here on our HE. Didn't get a fire, but still solid hit nonetheless. And we're going to switch back to AP, trying to catch someone else broadside. Now in this match, you can see I haven't other than French battleships that don't ever get citadeled, haven't really caught a whole lot of broadsides. And that's the thing, is you can get some pretty crazy games in this ship. And now that I understand this ship better, I assure you I'm going to have some pretty crazy games in this thing, because the last game I actually played in it, I I absolutely almost dev struck in Iowa with this thing. So you can 100% Citadel battleships, especially when you get within 10 kilometers of them. 12, 10 kilometers, start aiming for belt line, right? Now, in this match here, going up against French battleships, they're a little bit harder to Citadel for me anyway, so I didn't really go for that, but we're still doing a significant amount of damage, right? Like, we've now got our second base too as well, and we're gonna start chunking Repub here. And Repub, these French battleships, while I'm not citadeling them, we are really doing some significant damage to them here. And you can see we've been playing pretty well here, not giving up all our health, playing smart. And we're only using our front guns because a lot of times, if you get your back turret on target, you can be careful. You can get it out there and be angled well enough, but you want to be careful that you don't get it too far out and you end up giving up too much broadside and getting citadel. But as you can see there, we got our high caliber. So we had a high caliber, and we also solo cap 2 bases, clearly being the difference for our team with almost a 3,000 base game. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.